This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Okay, so you already knew this was coming. Tony Yayo got on Vlad TV and talked about the situation with Little Meech, Big Meech, the disloyalty going on. And, he gave a little bit of insight because he was there when 50 Cent met up with Big Meech. And he says everything was good. Everything was good, Of course, 50 Cent's not going to tell Yayo everything that's going on, but he tells him mostly. He sees and he witnesses most of everything. But if there was an issue with the show a little bit, like where Big Meech was talking a little crazy, he probably wouldn't mention it and would probably handle it first before it went left. That's probably another reason why he was there. Now, Tony Yayo says that when he was there, Lil Meech was in the backyard with Uncle Murder and him, and 50 was inside talking to Big Meech. Lil Meech was complaining that little baby came here, he had tons of money on him, and he pulled up in a Ferrari truck and didn't hit my dad off with no money. My G, are you serious? You think little baby owes your dad money for what? You owe your dad money. You're playing your dad. You made $5 million. 50 Cent said you made $5 million for 3 seasons. That's good. For 3 seasons. Not to mention, that's what he paid you. Then you did walkthroughs. You did all kinds of stuff, because it seems like anybody that does a show with 50 Cent and it's big, they be doing all kinds of other stuff, walkthroughs, all kinds of stuff, endorsement deals. Little Meech didn't save $1 for his pops. Not $1. Little Meech spent all his money, man. Little Meech was starving. Now, Tony Yayo said, I guess they were expecting us to bring money and money and jewelry and stuff like that, but it's like they're already doing business together. They have a TV show together. And he said 50 Cent's not the type of person to just give things away. It's always for a purpose. When 50 Cent gave Mobb Deep Porsches, he didn't give it to him, right? Remember when Mobb Deep signed there and MOP signed? He didn't give them cars. He leased them cars because it's a business expense because he needs his artists rolling around looking good. So he said, pick a car you want to drive. I need you guys looking good when you're driving around. You're representing G-Unit now. They didn't own the cars. The cars went right back to Porsche, whatever they got, a Porsche, whatever. They went right back. It had to be a leased vehicle. It was leased under G-Unit, and it went right back. And that's good because then they're not paying for it, right? It's just a label expense. They're paying for it, but they're not paying for it. It's like essentially. Now, you got to work with, if Tony says, hey, 50 Cent's crazy, you got to work. He doesn't just give us things, we got to work for it. We got to go do shows. We got to do this. So 50 Cent, they had a little disagreement over, first of all, Big Meech was probably expecting money from 50 Cent. He didn't get that. Rick Ross came with money and some gifts, most likely. And, that's what got him in Big Meech's ear. He was like, yeah, man, that's when he, the talk started, we're going to do this movie together. We can make this money. This is your story. You deserve it. All this stuff, man. And, this all comes from think about it. Nobody from BMF showed up and hit Big Meech off with $1. Nothing. Nobody. Because he has the allegations of a rat on him. Even before 50 Cent. Cuffy's been talking about this since 2018. Really 15, but it's 18. Blue Da Vinci's put this out, and a lot of people know about this. The only people you've seen defend Big Meech are people that are directly... they're directly, that's all they got. J-Bo, I think J-Bo is one of the most loyal people in BMF, but he was attached to the show. He was attaching himself to be around the show and gets emotion off of it. So, of course, he's going to defend Big Meech, right? Who else you got? Calico Jones. He benefits from standing next to Big Meech because he wasn't a known member when BMF was going on. Who else you got? There's a couple members that but you never hear about Bull or any of those guys coming to his defense. Yeah, a lot of BMF members just don't mess with Meech. A lot of people, no artist came and hit Big Meech off except for Rick Ross. 21 Savage didn't come and give him any money. He doesn't have to. But what about Nelly? T.I. benefited from Meech when he was coming up, right? Meech was paying to have his records play in the club. Jeezy benefited. He was borrowing cars. That whole Raw Report DVD was Meech's stuff. Okay? Yeah, Jeezy got his own money, but he ain't have what Meech had. He wasn't switching Ferraris kind of stuff. He had some money, okay? But he didn't have Ferrari, Lambo, Rolls Royce money. And when these guys would go out of town, it looked like a movie because they were spending it as fast as they got it, okay? Blowing money fast, okay? It says Black Mafia family, but they were blowing money fast. Mansions, engravings on toilet paper rolls, bro. Like these are the BMF engravings on sinks and stuff. Like it was just over the top, can't take it with you type of mentality. They spent all that money, man. Renting jets, buying all them cars and stuff, that's millions of dollars. Yeah, he was making hundreds of millions of dollars. He was spending hundreds of millions of dollars. What do you think all that show, all that stuff costs money, man? So now Big Meech has nothing because Rick Ross could offer him nothing. Rick Ross, if Big Meech, Tony said it best. Big Meech should have asked 50 Cent that night to help him with a show if he wanted to do a show. And he should have said, I got a little baby. He's going to come for free. Can you come through and help me work it and we can make this money together? But no, Big Meech said, oh, well, Ross is going to do it and he's going to help me. Rick Ross doesn't even do shows like that, man. He does clubs. He doesn't do 103 sold out shows around the world like 50 did. He couldn't sell out a residency in Vegas for 7 nights within 2 weeks. Ross just doesn't have that kind of pull. He doesn't have that kind of selling power. He doesn't have that kind of audience. He's good at marketing and he's a hustler. But he just doesn't have that kind of audience, man. His is a little different. His is really super hood. And you know what? He leans into that and he's rich off of that. Rick Ross is rich. He has a lot of money. He opened Wingstops. He marketed that. Checkers. He sold them all. His music catalog. Sold it. He's flipping stuff. And now he's doing real estate flips with a big company. He's not just doing this by himself. And I think he's doing it the best way. He teamed up with a bunch of other rich guys, and they pooled their money together, and they're doing huge flips. And guess what? Rick Ross gets to look like he's a real estate guru because these guys don't care about the clout, Everyone from this show, look, nobody promoted it. Nobody. Rick Ross promoted it. 42 Doug promoted it. That's it. I wonder if T Grizzly saw him in person. Did he hit him off with money? Probably not. He doesn't owe him $1. Maybe he gave him a little $5,000, $10,000. And that's little for Big Meech because he just came home from doing 20 years. That'll probably buy him a couple things. Boosie ain't going to give him no money. Like, it doesn't matter. These Boss Man D-Lo definitely ain't give him 42 Doug. These people ain't giving him money, man. The people that would give him money is Diddy, Nelly, Jeezy, Bun B. These are people that benefited when he was around. But really, what guys don't get to realize is that Big Meech, when those artists were... Fabulous definitely didn't give him $1. All those artists were getting paid to be around Meech. Most of them were. The ones that weren't is like Scrappy because it looked good for him to be around, right? T.I. didn't pay to be around him because it benefited him. He was getting his records played. So he benefited in a different way. But, like, none of those people are going to come through and give him money because Big Meech was a lick. He was trying to get into the music business. And when you get a guy like him trying to get in the music business, you tax him. Tax him. So Little Meech spent all his money, didn't have anything for his dad. Disrespectful. He's out here wearing $5,000 jeans. He bought a $500,000 chain. He spent that money so fast. He blew that money super fast. 50 Cent even commented on it today. He says, Michael Rainey saved his money. This guy blew it all. Tony Yayo even said, 50's generous. Like, he'll do good business with you. Like, he said each one of us on G Unit only had 2 album deals. Most people will get an 8 album deal. They had 2 album deals. Tony Yayo, 2 albums, he could leave. Lloyd Banks, 2 albums, and he could leave. Young Buck, 2 albums, and he could leave. Most people get 8 album deals. 50 Cent put out the hottest album in 2003, and the second album he dropped was a G Unit album to put on everyone in this picture. And they were millionaires before they even dropped the collab album. 50 Cent, he might be harsh. I don't agree with how he deals with his son, his older son, a lot of stuff. But he's fair when it comes to business. And Big Meech blew it, bro. He blew the bag, and so did Little Meech. He should have checked his dad. But you know what? Big Meech screwed himself. He knows he had skeletons in his closet. He got rid of Tammy Cowens. Who knows where the skeletons are? He's third party. He's not. You can't call him a direct snitch, but you can call him a cooperator because he kind of, like, you can see how Tammy was a cooperator and he was kind of working his guys through that. Like Cuffy, Suarez, who we met in jail. I don't understand how he trusted some guy he just met in jail to do deals with Cuffy, a friend of his of 20 years. It's crazy. You don't even know this guy. You were in jail with him. And he got off. So most people don't beat the Fed. So you got to be wondering, like, what's going on here? I just don't think Big Meech is that smart anymore, man. I mean, he was in jail for 20 years. He's different. Southwest T did goofy moves, too, with the Supreme thing. It was just goofy. These guys are moving goofy. BMF is just, like, whittling away. And to be mad that Little Baby and other artists didn't come through, like, what did they think? That Big Meech was going to be a multi-millionaire when he came home? When Rollo was getting money from Dirk and Baby and all that, it was probably because, well, Rollo was paying his way before then, too. He was paying for features. He was helping people out. Rollo isn't stingy. I'll tell you that much, okay? So when Baby was coming through and Dirk and all them were coming through and giving Rollo money, it's because he helped them out at one point. Not everybody was coming and giving Rollo money. It was people that he had helped in the past, And that's that. Man, I cannot believe Big Meech really thought the whole industry would just give him cash. If you would stay down with 50, they were talking about future business too, Yayo said. It's interesting how this all played out. Couldn't have predicted this one. I knew that there were these rumors about Meech. Buddha Vinci put it out there and did interviews and stuff. But 50 Cent really finished him off, man, by bringing light to it. It's crazy, man. I'll check you guys in the next one. It's Jordan Tower with JT News. Peace. Smash that like button.